Glen Christian Foundation Church 19th Annual Ox Roast 2014. This is a 3-day event. What a beautiful day we picked today. Today is Saturday. We were going to do Sunday, but Sunday is just there's a chance of rain. This has been our whole season with the street scene. Rain, rain all the time. Hey, what a great day we have here, and what a great display of cars they have here. We've got a lot of different cars we're going to check out today. And you know what? Enough talking. I'm Rick Guerrero for Armstrong Street Scene. Let's go inside and check them out. I have Pastor Glenn here from the Glen Christian Church, who started this whole thing. What, this 19th?
This is the 19th year, and it started at the church grounds in 1996, and we actually had a fall picnic. And I said, some of the people in the church, bring out your old cars. There were 17 cars that first year. Next year we opened up to the public, there were 75. Following year 200, 500. And it got so big we had to move it here, and it just keeps on growing.
How many do you expect today? Even though this is Saturday,
there's probably 1,000 cars on the grounds right now. I'm guessing around 1,000.
Saturday's not the big day though, right? Sunday's the big day.
Sunday there can be 2,000 or 3,000 cars out here. I'd say 40% of them don't register, but we would register on good weather times. In the past, we have registered as many as 2,000 cars. And 40% not registering, so it's really a pretty huge event.
Yeah, we did this show, what, about 3 or 4 years ago, and we had it was beautiful, just a great day. And today we're doing it on a Saturday instead of a Sunday, because we understand the chance of rain on Sunday, but today is just as nice, you know?
Well, it's really a beautiful day today. It was really nice yesterday, and our Friday was twice as big as the Friday has ever been. I don't know how many cars, 600-700 cars yesterday, and again, many of them don't register, but it was a fun time. We have rides out here for kids. We have free food for people. Registration is free. The parking is free. The whole event is free. Now, we get that done by sponsors. There are many sponsors in the area. I would say several hundred in the area that support this event because it's a charitable event for the community. And everything we do is free. There's some vendors, if you want to buy something from them, you could. But what we do is free.
Wow, this is a wonderful event. What a great turnout and everything.
And free kids rides all week long. They don't have to buy a ticket. They can just walk out there and get on those rides Friday night as they did. All day today, all day on Sunday. They don't have to buy a ticket. They can ride as much as they want. No questions asked, no problems whatsoever. Instead of going to one of the local fairs, you have to pay for this, pay for that. This is all free. And there are many people can't afford that.
Right, I understand that.
And you know, so it's really a good family thing. That's probably the #1 thing to us, but we treat the car guys really well. I think there are more than between $3,000 and $4,000 worth of cash prizes, door prizes, 400 trophies over the entire weekend. And all that's free. They don't even have to pay a registration fee.
So this takes place every Labor Day weekend?
Yep, we don't actually operate on Labor Day itself, but the 3 days preceding Labor Day every year.
So it'll be Friday, Saturday,
Friday, Saturday, always Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And Monday's Labor Day.
And we love people coming out to it.
And you're a car guy yourself, right?
Yeah, kinda.
Well, yeah, kinda. You got a nice looking GTO
I got an old red GTO, but that's how it started. That might be somewhat interesting to people because when we got married, my wife and I got married, I just come out of the service, and I had a '64 GTO. We went off and got married. And for our 25th anniversary, you know, people do rings, they do vacations, whatever. Hey, how about buying an old GTO? Since we got married, we went to Winchester, Virginia, got married. And I said, let's get a car. And we got it, and we started going to cruises, and this is what happened.
Sweet. What a great
That's how it happened.
Deal. Yeah. What service were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Air Force?
Yep. And during the Vietnam War, I wasn't in Vietnam, but I was in during the Vietnam War, so long time ago. See how old I am, don't you?
You don't look it. You don't look it. You look good. You look good.
67, thank you.
You look good for 50.
Thank you.
47.
And you don't have glasses on or anything. Pretty good.
Contacts.
47? Yeah,
47.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Pastor Glenn, thank you very much for having us here. What a wonderful event. Every Labor Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You got to check it out.
Okay, and thanks for coming out. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any publicity we get has helped us get it to the public.
Right.
So.
With me, I have John Russell from Warren, Ohio, in his 1930 Ford, wow, pickup.
Okay.
John, this thing's amazing.
Oh, thank you for saying so.
This is amazing. How long did it take you to do this?
I started way back in 1800s.
I believe it. I believe
We
it.
finally got it done about a year ago, and so it's attracted a lot of attention,
Yes, it
especially
has.
the color.
It caught our eyes here at Street Scene, I'll tell you.
It does quite a bit, yeah.
So what was it like when you picked it up?
Well, it's new from the ground up. I didn't buy one that was already junked up or anything. It was just, I started from a TCI chassis and got the fenders and the cab and the bed and just started to assemble things and finally come out the way it did. So,
Let's walk around and look at this thing.
Okay.
How about, let's start with the engine first of all. That's what caught our eye.
it's a 350 Chevy ZZ4 motor, crate motor,
Okay.
and has Demon tri-power.
What's that?
Well, it's 3.2 carburetors, and Demon used to make those. They don't make them any longer, but they were pretty popular for a while. But they've since, you know, ceased production on them. And I thought it would be I like the tri-power, but I didn't want to put the old tri-power on it, you know, like the Stromberg. So I decided to put something more up to date, and so that's why I chose Demon.
How's she run for you?
Runs very, very beautiful, very smooth, and yeah, I'm very, very satisfied with it. You know, we put that all together and never did anything. We turned the key, and that thing started up, and it's been that way ever since. Didn't have to do anything with it at all.
How fast have you had it?
Oh, probably 80. I don't race it
You
around.
got a lot more?
Oh, definitely. Oh my goodness, yeah. It just keeps on going. But I don't really beat the car out. You put all the time and money into it. I don't go up and tear the roads up and tear the car up.
Oh, I understand that one. Let's walk around and look at this thing. First of all, the color. You got a perfect day for this. The sun and everything's just making this thing pop today.
The sun makes it very luminous. Of course, it's PPG orange glow. And it's a transparent color. It's translucent. You paint it silver, sterling silver in this particular case, and then put the translucent PPG orange glow paint over that. And it's the type of paint that each time you put another coat on, it gets darker and darker until you get the color you like, and that's where you stop.
So how many coats you think you have on?
Five coats of translucent, yes.
Who painted it for you?
A friend of mine from Lordstown did the paint work on this, and he really does good work.
So you got some pinstriping on it also?
Guy Shively, of course.
A friend of the show,
Guy Shively did the pinstripe, and it's very subtle. I didn't want it to be overly outstanding. It just was very subtle. And,
I had dinner with Guy and his wife at the Quaker Steak in Lubbock, Austintown a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh, great guy.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, I'll tell you that.
He sure does. If anybody's going to get paint striping now, he's a guy to see. For sure, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what is this all steel body?
No, the cab came from Canada.
Okay.
I've never seen another one, but it is fiberglass and has the suicide doors.
Okay.
I didn't want the original hinges on because once you paint everything, they always crack, and there's always a lot of cracking going on at the top of the windshield post. But this is very strong, very rigid, and it's not had any problem with it at all.
You got chopped?
No, that's the way it
That's
came.
stock there?
Yeah, that's stock the way
Didn't
it
go
came.
down at
No,
all. Okay, a lot of
no.
guys will chop these. Ooh,
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah.
That looks
Oh, well, I
really
like
good.
the original look, but I still like, you know, a little of the up-to-date look as well.
Sure.
So
How about the visor? You built in the visor?
that's
there?
built into the cab itself.
That's
Yeah.
really clean.
Yeah,
Really
it just
clean.
molds in real nicely. Yeah.
Let's walk around a little bit
Okay.
more here. These wheels are really nice on there too. I like the style. I like the size. And
Yeah, I chose intro wheels. There were
Mhm.
different wheels that I, you know, put on earlier and different tires, and nothing seemed to work out. So I communicated with Intro, and these wheels were specifically made for this vehicle.
oh, okay.
20s on the back and 18s on the front with Goodyear tires. So they're meaty, yet it makes it look, you know, muscular, so to speak, but still nice and low and clean looking.
Those chrome rims?
Yes, they are. Yeah,
Sometimes you get those alloy ones that look just as good. Let's head to the bed back here, and if you want to call it a bed, it was a bed at one time.
Yeah, at one time it was.
What
yeah.
do we got going on down here?
Okay, this is the Jaguar Rand. You know, it's all chromed and everything. It gives it a nice look. When you're following it, it really looks good because you see all the turning parts.
Here we got the brakes, right?
And yeah, that's the feature of this vehicle. The disc brakes are on the inside, so it goes in harmony with the chassis. When you get Johnson rebounding, it goes with just a half shaft go up and down. The last Model A I built had a Corvette rim, and all the calipers and the discs were on the outside, and it was always a problem hitting the frame. So we chose this one. Plus, it looks, excuse me, it looks attractive as well.
It looks real good. It looks real good. How about what year and what's that out of? What kind of Jaguar?
Well, they were the same for quite a few years. Now, I can't tell you exactly what year that was.
So it was an X-Type?
But yes,
X-Type,
and it worked out beautiful for this happened. And TCI, of course, made the chassis, and they installed that thing in there just right, and it rides beautifully and handles beautifully.
Tools?
Yeah, I thought it'd be uniquely different to have a little tool chest back here. I don't use the tools, but everybody else uses them.
Really? Shut down. Let's see what it looks, everything looks like here. Okay. Look how clean that is. Really
And,
nice.
I didn't want to put the wood in there. I want, you know, you put all that money in the rear end, and I thought, well, it'd be nice to be able to see it. So what I did is took this, the large half-inch thick plexiglass, and we took a laser and put an 1/8-inch thick laser cut in the plexiglass, and then Guy Shoddy painted it a burgundy color, so it you know, the color transition between this and the clear was just right.
The burgundy's right in
Yes,
here.
the burgundy's right in there. It almost looks like it's rubber, but it's
it sure
not.
does.
But if you can feel it, you feel the deepness of that.
Have a steady hand to do that.
And we're all, yeah, well, he's good at that. And then now you can see the rear end rod crawling under it, and this little toolbox kind of put a little accent to it.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. How about the gas tank itself? Is that homemade? You made that?
No, that was made out in Indiana company, and again, I can't remember. I'm going brain dead here. I can't remember all the names of these.
It's hard to get old. I do the same
tell
things.
me about it. So they made that stainless steel tank. It has the baffling and everything, and then the rollover port over on the right side, and the fill in on the left side.
What's that there?
That's in case you have a rollover or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a belt automatically shuts the gas off. So.
Oh, okay.
It's got I made a center console for it using the Pioneer radio.
Okay, on the top there.
In the top, kind of hard to get up there and see that. It has the simulated leather interior. They're saying that this is actually better than leather. It's nice and soft, feels like leather, but it wears much better, and it cleans up much better. So I'm happy with it so far.
How about the steering column and everything?
The Flaming River and Recaro wheel. It's got canceling turn signals, and I built this little gauge arrangement here. It tells you when your ignition's on. It has the turn signals, high beams, low beams, all in the little thing that I incorporated into the column drop. So it kind of come out good. It has classic gauges, and it all comes together.
Very nice. Very nice, John. Hey, I really appreciate
By
you
the way,
showing us.
the wiring was from John McClellan.
Okay, John was here. I meet John before.
Yeah,
He was
and
walking
man,
around
does he
here.
do a good job with the wiring. You know, we put that wiring in there, I've not had 1 ounce of problem with it whatsoever at all. And very happy with that. So it's good to, you know, I'm not very good with wiring.
Right.
I get a little goofy with it, but he put that in there, and we've not had 1 ounce of problem.
With me, I have Butch Hubbard from Champion, Ohio, and his 51 Harley FL.
That's correct.
How's it going?
Very good. How about you?
Great day to ride.
Oh,
huh?
it's beautiful. Every day's a great day to ride.
You got that right. You got that. And this thing is a beauty, man. This is a real beauty.
Thank you very much.
How long have you owned her?
I've had it now. I bought it December 11th of 2011. It was a basket case. Absolutely not even close to what this. It was in a swing arm frame, orange, very ugly looking bike.
Was it from around town here?
Yeah, it was found locally. If some friends of mine knew I was looking for an old panhead motor, and just by mutual friends, we got a hold of each other, and somebody gave me a phone call, and a great friend of mine that I've known pretty much all my life actually had it in his garage and was thinking about selling it. So.
That looks good. You did a nice job on it. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Sure.
We'll start from the front to the back.
Okay.
Springer front end.
Correct. It's a 21-inch wheel. This wishbone kit was made by 3.2 Choppers out of Texas. It's a better, safer design. Gives a lot more stability when you're riding it. Custom brass headlight assembly.
What's that off of?
I believe it's off an old industrial tractor or some kind of machine implement. It is solid cast brass. It's a pretty heavy piece. The frame we build ourselves.
Does this got a kick to it?
No, sir. It's stock. It's a stock rake. It's 23 inches from bottom of the triple tree to the center of the axle.
That's the way it come out originally. You didn't have to kick it or anything
Nope,
like that.
there's no kick
rake
there.
it or anything. Okay, that's it. You put the Springer front end on it. What kind of front end was on here before?
I had a wide glide front end.
Okay.
I had to do what I had to do, and I wanted to get the bike up and running, and that's all I could afford at that time. So.
But you could always sell that wide glide front end too, right?
Yeah, but
It's probably worth a couple bucks on the 51 Harley.
there could always be another bike in the process too.
It's like money in the bank, though.
Yeah,
they get more.
it's an incentive. It makes me want to build another one.
Okay, let's walk back here with that. What size engine is this?
Originally it was a 74 cubic inch FL motor. It has been stroked out. It's now an 80-inch motor. STD heads, Andrews cam, S&S Super E carburetor. Pretty bulletproof type motor. Nothing excessive. Just a nice little get on it and ride it.
This is considered a panhead.
Yes, this is correct. And the reason behind that is if you look at the top of the engine, these covers actually look like pans. That's why it got its nickname, the panhead.
But they come out with a knucklehead too,
Yes,
right?
it was previous
was that
to
the
this.
same year?
No,
They didn't have it? Okay.
I'm trying to remember here now. 36 to 47, I believe.
Okay,
is
so
the
that was earlier with the knuckleheads.
earlier, right.
Okay, and those, they look like knuckles,
Yeah,
that's
you
why.
look at the top of the rocker boxes and they actually look like the knuckles, so that's how I got that.
Looks like you incorporated a lot of brass in this bike.
Yeah, I tried to search and find the brass look. I really enjoyed the look of the brass and the paint job, which was painted by Rob Carson at 3C's Custom here in Warren, Ohio.
That's a beaut. Every time you look at it, it looks like it changes colors.
Yeah, the flake inside of it, I believe, is a color changing. You walk around it and you'll get a purple hue off of it sometimes, a dark root beer, almost a black look to it, a red hue, even a green at certain types.
You see a little bit of green in it.
Yeah, it's a great color. It's a house of color paint. It was called Rattlesnake, and Rob tweaked it and made it special. He also mixed the brass paint. That's his special mix. He did that himself.
You're talking this right here?
Yes, sir. Yeah, all this right here was all.
Yeah, you can see that popping too.
We incorporated the stripe and divided it up. If you look, there's special underneath the oil tank. The stripes actually go all the way around, up and around, and then tried to keep it all continuous and just a little special custom touch. This leather box down on the bottom, it's my little stash box, they call them. That's actually a grenade. I found it at a gun show. It's a Japanese grenade carrying box.
That's neat. Made out of leather, huh?
Yeah,
That's
so
neat.
I said that'll fit right in there real good. 4-speed transmission, rear tires, 15-inch, 200, performance machine brakes.
Okay, disc brakes front and rear, which
Yeah.
is nice to have.
Yeah, you got to upgrade the brakes. You know, I built the bike to ride it. It's not a trailer queen. I've never had it on a trailer, unless it was broke, and it has happened.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of having something like this. You know. Let me ask you another question about the frame itself. Okay, this is considered a hardtail.
Yes, the hardtail rigid frame. There is no shocks at all on this bike on the back.
Okay. And the new bikes, sometimes I see them, they have soft tails on it, but you can't see the shocks.
Correct.
Where would they be at?
They actually incorporate the shocks. They split the frame down here underneath, and the shocks are in line down here on the bottom.
So that's considered a soft tail also.
Right, soft tail because it actually has suspension and it moves and makes the soft ride. So
the hard tail is no shocks, and the soft tail has the shocks on it.
Correct.
Great.
Yep.
Great. Look at this seat. I love the seat. Where'd you get that at?
I found that online. It was a company. Their name is La Rosa. He builds them seats and does all the stitching and stuff himself. So. 3/16 polished stainless underneath. If you look, it's pretty shiny up underneath the seat.
The whole thing's shiny.
Well, thank you very much. A lot of time polishing. So.
I love the paint though. Look at the thing pop on. That's really nice.
The engine cases were polished. Those are actually all sanded down and hand polished and done. It's not the way it came from the factory.
Here we go, a 1973 Mustang convertible. The guy wants $5,500 for it. What a great starter car. Convertible, I'm sure you can probably get them down too. If you guys are out there looking for a starter car, this is perfect. A lot of fun, convertible, one of one, 21 factory options. With me, I have Gary Dew from Warren, Ohio with this 33 Ford Roadster. How you doing, Gary?
Good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Boy, this car looks really nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
It looks like you have so much fun in it.
Oh yeah, it's real good, nice car to drive, fun car.
It looks just like, just sitting here, you just go, man, that thing just, it looks like it's taking off and you're just sitting here. I love it.
Right.
What are you sporting underneath the hood here, Gary?
This is a LS1 Chevy small block out of a 2004 GTO motor. It's all crate motor, all brand new, with a 5-speed Tremec transmission, standard shift.
How's it run for you?
Runs real good, real good. Real
What
good.
made you pick that motor?
That's the way to go now. The LS motors are all aluminum.
A lot lighter.
A lot lighter and a lot more horsepower out of them anymore. So yeah, they're really good.
So, Gary, how long have you owned this 33?
I took 2 years to build it. It's all brand new reproduction stuff. This is what they call American Speed. All reproduction bodies are stamped out up by Detroit.
So American Speed makes the body. Is it all steel?
Right, yes,
Okay.
it's all steel.
What's she sitting on?
It's a reproduction 33 Ford frame by Precision Street Rods out of Macedonia. The wheelbase is stretched about 2 inches.
Front and rear.
The wheelbase.
Okay. The wheelbase. Okay.
Right. So all steel hood by Rublo. Reproduction 33 grill shell. All the chrome plating was done by Grafton Custom Chrome Plating out in Grafton, Ohio. They do a real nice job.
How about the windshield and everything? I love the way
the windshield comes with the car. The top folds down below behind the seats there.
Oh, there is a top on this.
Right.
Oh wow, it's awfully clean looking. I'll tell you.
Right. It's like a similar to a Corvette type thing. This flips up. This flips up. The top folds up, and this folds back down again.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Nice and clean looking.
And the interior was done by Jay's Upholstery in Edinburgh, Ohio. One-man shop. Real good guy.
That leather, red leather?
It's ultra leather. It's a man-made leather. It don't get hot in the sun. It's real soft.
Sounds good. Looks good. What do you got? What kind of gauges and everything?
They're autometer gauges, custom from their custom shop. I had them done black and with the red numbers on them. It's a 44 dash. It's all welded in.
I see your looks like you're hiding something behind that this chrome speaker there.
Originally, this was where the radio speaker was on a 44.
Right.
So now we make this flips up, and I put my air conditioning controls and my windshield wipers and stuff like that, dimmer switch, stuff like that behind there.
That's nice. Nice touch.
Right.
Nice touch. Got a radio and everything in here?
Yeah, it's no radio. It's just a UV flash drive stereo. Just plays off a flash drive.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. Let's talk about the rims on here and the wheels.
The back wheels are billet specialties. They're 17 inches in diameter, approximately 30 inches tall.
Yeah, they look bigger than that though. Big tires. I was looking at the tire itself. There's nothing on there at all. It's just
I had them. They're from a company called Diamondback, and they grind the letters off.
I was wondering. I've never seen that before.
It makes it look smoother.
Yeah, it gives it a real clean look.
Right.
Front and back, you did that.
Right. The fronts are shaved on both sides, and then the front wheels are they're called from Real Wheels out of California, and they look like the old-time spindle mounts. It has a steel roll pan, and they got a 9-inch forward rear end with coilovers.
Where's the roll pan at? This thing right here.
From here, where this line is here,
Yeah.
down. That's what they call a roll pan.
Oh, okay.
And that just kind of cleans up the back end a little bit, because originally a 33 Ford had the gas tank hanging in the back.
So where'd you put the gas tank at?
It's in the trunk.
Okay.
Behind
A lot
the seat.
safer there, yeah. How about the rear end? What type of rear end?
It's a 9-inch Ford rear end with just a quick change looking cover over it. Makes it look fancy, but it isn't. You know what I mean?
It's like you're having a lot of fun in this.
Yeah, real good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gosh, I just saw this. I said, oh, I'd love to be cruising out of that. That'd be me cruising out, the arm hanging out the door, you know.
Right.
Convertible, perfect day for it. With me, I have Richard Stollard from Cochranton, Pennsylvania. This 1954 Hudson Hornet Special, right?
Yep.
Boy, does this thing shine. What? You spent all day
For
cleaning this.
60-year-old paint. Yeah.
Boy, this is really neat. I was walking by this. I said, oh, we got to interview this guy. This is such a neat car. You don't see these too often. Is this an original?
Yeah, it's other than a couple of spots I patched up that my grandmother bounced off of things, but
So your
other than
grandmother
that-
owned this before?
my great-grandmother bought it new.
Wow, so 50, wow, it's been in the family all those years. 60
Yep.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So I was looking at I was walking around looking at the car, and I said, oh, it's got to be 319,000 miles on it. But
19,000 original miles.
19,000 original miles. Wow. It's definitely a survivor, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is what was tearing up NASCAR tracks back in what, the 50s, right?
Yes.
Late 50s, I think it was.
Well, early 50s.
Early 50s?
Early
Okay.
50s.
Okay.
And they, and that's why there's not all that many of them around. A lot of them ended up getting banged up on the tracks, or the engines were in demand also for other race cars.
Right, that was a heck of a... Let's look at the engine under this thing. That's a big piece of metal you got under there. So this is what size engine?
308 cubic inches.
Okay.
And
so is this the one that NASCAR used?
the same engine. They had the high performance. This has the aluminum block, which is high performance, but they had the twin carburetor setup.
Oh, so they come in aluminum blocks and steel blocks.
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Well, the heads.
Oh, the heads. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd like to have the twin carb setup, but they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, I can
if
imagine.
It didn't come with it.
Yeah. So how just got a lot of get up and go?
Yeah. I mean, it's tons of torque.
Yeah.
We came out of Greenville up the big hill on there and climbed the hill in 4th gear.
You got what, about an hour drive here to Cortland,
Pretty
Ohio
close,
from
yeah.
Cochranton. Cochranton's where? For some people, Cochranton, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
It would be east of Meadville,
Okay.
about 10 miles east of Meadville, right on 322.
Yeah, sounds good. So this car's got to weigh 4,000 pounds. Am I
Yeah, it's
guessing?
right in there. Yeah.
That block alone's got to weigh 800-900 pounds. Jesus.
I've got the original owner's manual, so it has all the specifications, and it's right around, I think it's 39 something.
Are you going to do anything with this or just drive it, have fun with it?
I've got it mechanically done, pretty much, and I'm getting a lot of comments from people say, leave it alone, leave it the way it is, because they're only original once.
Yeah, that's
you
what
can
they say.
restore them several times, but they're only original once.
Right.
And so I think I couldn't afford to put it back into showroom condition.
Sure. Oh yeah, that would cost you a ton. And,
Especially that chrome, getting that chrome redone and everything.
And then again, you got to wonder, is it worth it too?
Yeah.
You know, you put $30,000-$40,000 into this thing, and the car's only. But you got a lot of sentimental value with this too.
Yeah.
Your great grandmother on this, yikes! You can't get better than that. You know, your great grandma, not your grandma or your mom, your great grandma. So.
And it draws a lot of attention at these shows. And I kind of joke that it's the most beat up car here, but it draws some of the most attention. She would fill the back seat with eggs and produce, take it into Meadville to the market house, sell stuff in there. And that's why miles were so low. That she did that once or twice a week, and the rest of the time, she'd drive to church. That was about it. That's the only places she went.
So what do you got here? You got a 3-speed. Is that a 3-speed or an automatic?
No, it's a 4-speed hydromatic transmission.
Oh, okay.
And it's a real heavy-duty transmission. I guess they put them in a lot of GM cars and even trucks and buses. And I've heard, I'm not positive, but I've heard that they even had them in some of the tanks, the military. So.
Well, this was right after the war, so yeah. A lot of stuff looked like tanks back then.
Yeah, a friend of mine, a Hudson friend of mine, said they're practically indestructible.
Right. Is there anything special like in the interior? You got a radio, I see, AM radio?
AM, yeah.
But back then, 60 years ago, just to have a radio alone.
Yeah. And I've got this is my air conditioning.
The air conditioning, 60 mile an hour is perfect, huh?
Yeah.
Does this thing have power steering or anything?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't back then, huh?
It's got a huge steering wheel, and
that's why they made them so big, the steering wheels. Yeah, you get a small steering wheel in there,
and 4-wheel drum brakes, so you kind of plan your stops ahead of time.
Right. I see a 1971 PA inspection sticker on it.
I drove it my senior year of high school. I drove it to school for about 3 months before the weather started turning, and then I switched my plates over to my other car. And it went in storage, and it was in storage then till about 4 years ago. And we got it out and got it roadworthy again, did all the...
No mice or anything in it?
No.
Oh, great.
No.
Welcome to Tech Tips. And with me today is somebody I've been wanting to get on this show for quite a while. We got Guy Shively from Guy's Graphics here in Austintown, Ohio. Welcome.
Thank you.
What do you want to show us today here, Guy?
Well, I'm lucky to work on some nice old stuff. This is a early dirt track car, probably from the early to mid 30s. And they brought it to me to letter and stripe all the louvers. But he requested gold leaf for the name on the hood and the numbers on the back. And that's 23 karat gold.
So this is real gold.
Yes.
And you get it in what, in sheets?
Yeah. I use the patent gold. It comes on sheets of paper.
What's the
About
difference?
3-inch square. There's loose gold leaf. That's a little bit more of a challenge.
Like a powder or something?
No, it's actual sheets that aren't on that paper.
This can't be too cheap.
Oh no. No, they're real proud of that.
Okay, if I want to get these gold letters, which ones would show up better, the numbers or they?
Okay, first you obviously you lay it out like you would any lettering, and you paint on what's called a gold size. It almost looks like varnish. You add a little bit of paint to it so you can see it. You letter that on when it's just about dry to the touch. You can run your finger over it and hear a little squeak. Then you put the gold on, and it's 3-inch squares, so if you look real close you can see seams. And after that gold's all put on, you burnish it with cotton, and all the excess falls to the ground. The engine turn looks done with a velvet pad. It's turned. You've seen this on fire truck lettering, I'm sure. Of course, now there's vinyl that looks like this. And then after that's set up a while, I clear over it with a clear urethane with these quills. Then it's outlined and shadowed. This one I did the shadow in 2 different colors. These cars obviously look a lot nicer than they probably did in the 30s.
Oh, sure, sure. These are real basic race cars, aren't they?
Yeah, this is an aluminum body. It's a Model A rear end, a 32 Ford front axle, and a Ford 4-cylinder Model B motor with a Krager head. Now, I don't know if he'll run this thing, but they haven't started it yet. You can tell because the chrome's in nice shape.
So when somebody gets their whole car done, they take the guy to top it off with the finishing touches.
Yeah, I'm at the tail end of most restorations.
But you enhance the flavor of the car, I think, huh?
Oh yeah. I feel real fortunate just to be around this stuff. And it's amazing how much of this stuff there is around here that you never see. That's my comment to everybody. You could spend a week of your life looking at car collections and never go 40 miles away from here. It's incredible how much stuff there is.
How about this? How often do you see a Nomad? We got a 57 Nomad station wagon here, 56 Nomad station wagon here. Pretty neat, huh? 59 Cadillac convertible, white with red interior. Doesn't get any better than this. You talk about classic shots, look at the wings on this baby. With me, I have Frank Arcuri from Cortland, Ohio, in his '66 Pontiac GTO. Hi, Frank.
How are you?
This is a beaut.
Yeah, thank you.
I love the color combination. This thing looks like it come right off the showroom floor.
Yeah, everything matches pretty good on it. It took like 4 years to get it done. You know, and I worked on it almost every day. So, but it turned out nice. It turned out
beautiful. I walked by this thing. I said, "Oh my God, look at this thing!" And I'm glad you were standing in front of it here so we could talk to you about it. So what we got? 66 GTO convertible.
Right.
How long have you owned it now?
Well, it's set for. We've had it for like 8 to 10 years, and it just set. And then roughly 4.5 years ago, we decided to go ahead and get it done and get it finished. So that's what we did.
What was it like when you got it?
It was fairly good. The quarters had some rust on them because, you know, the convertible part, they leaked down the boot over a period of years. But basically, we just stripped it down, put it on a rotisserie, sandblasted the whole car.
So you went through it A through Z then, huh?
Yeah, the underneath is just as nice as the outside.
So is this all stock now, restored to stock?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Anything special in it? You got the nice interior. How about the colors? Is it the same colors?
It's an original color for a 66 GTO.
What color was it originally?
Maroon.
Maroon?
Yeah.
With that color interior?
No, it had black interior and black top. Now we went with all gold, and it's even got a tan top to match it.
Oh,
So
yeah. Glass window or plastic window?
it's got a plastic window. We stay with the original style.
Okay,
So.
those things come with glass windows?
No, and even the wheels are painted the color of the car. The spokes. So
Let me get a better look at it here. Boy, you did a nice job on this. What color is it?
it's just a metallic gold for 66 GTOs.
And you have about a 4-speed in it?
It's got a 4-speed, runs real well. It's positive traction rear end like it came with. It actually has the same gears in it came with. All the drivetrain's pretty much all original
It's
on
all
the car.
numbers matching. How about the engine?
The engine is.
Can we check it out?
matching.
Can we
Yeah.
check it out? So this is what, a 400?
This is a 400. They came with the 389. The block is basically the same, but the carburation, it had tri-power on it. And I was putting the tri-power back on, and then I noticed it had a crack in the intake, so we had to ditch that and go with what I had. So, but it will have tri-power back on it pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's a tri-power car. So.
Got a bigger radiator in here?
Yeah, it's the same size radiator, just an aluminum one because it cools better than the steel one.
Sure, I
and I was
understand
debating whether to paint it black and make it look original, but everybody's going to know anyway because of the welding on them. So.
Right. You did a heck of a job on this. This is a beaut. I love the color combo and everything.
Well,
Just everything about it. It's just a really, really nice car.
Yeah, it turned out well. We're proud of it. I mean, it looks good.
Is it a local car? Is it from
Yeah,
around?
it's from Cortland.
From Cortland?
Yes, from
Okay.
Cortland.
You spent this whole life here, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it turned out very well. We're all happy with it. The whole family's happy with it. So.
Sounds good, Frank. Frank Arcuri from Cortland, Ohio, in his '66 Pontiac GTO. What a wonderful looking car. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
With me, I have Jim Turley from Cranberry Township in his 1970, or is it a 1995? Which one is it? Huh?
Both. 1970 Mack chassis, 1995 Ford body.
This thing is sick. This is sick. How'd you come up with something like this?
Just a bunch of friends working on the race car and decided that we had everything sitting there and we started building. And 3 years later, it's what come out of the garage.
Well, let's start at the front end here. Look at this. You got the same thing upside down. How'd you do this? How'd you incorporate that?
Well, it started out to make it street legal. The headlights were too high.
Okay.
So we had to come up with a way of getting the headlights lower. And we toyed with different ideas, had, you know, plow lights, putting them in the bumper, all kind of stuff. None of it, and we still had a large gap. Well, literally, I fell and bumped my head one day out in the yard, and I fell in front of my service truck, and looking up at the grill upside down, I'm like, might work. Went out with a Sawzall, cut the front off my service truck, and put it on, and my body guy come in, and okay. About 4 hours later, he decided it would work, and we finished it, and that's how we come up with the idea of the upside down grill.
That's neat. I noticed you got nameplate Ford here, Mack here, huh?
Yep, because it's Mack on the bottom, Ford on the top.
So you had to make a whole plate here.
Right.
Okay.
We brought all this together, molded it in, welded steel in it. Down here, took another hood to make a valance panel to finish it off.
So how many donors do you have for this?
It's about 12 altogether.
Let's walk down the side here. This thing is, I don't know what else to say. It's enormous. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It got me speechless, huh?
It's a one of a kind. There's not another one like it. Yeah, we built it, and it, you know, like I said, it was just a labor of love to my dad.
Why was your dad?
Well, my dad passed away, but
he hear that.
Yeah, he's the one taught me how to do stuff like this. So
what do we got here? This is on the top here. This is a Ford truck.
Right.
What size Ford truck?
It started out as an F350 crew cab dually.
Okay.
And then the cab is stock.
Okay.
The front end, not only the grills, but the fenders are stretched 10 inches to cover the Mack engine. And then the bed stretched 30 inches to be able to reach, you know, to cover the back.
So you had to put 2 beds on here then?
Put 2 beds. The beds are sectioned right here. There's 30 inches of another bed to the front, and then a full bed on the rear. Then we had, of course, add in the wheel well panels and everything to finish it off. And then last we put a 8-ton hydraulic boom in the back, and it is used. We do use it for recovery work and as well as show.
So this is a working machine then. Now you don't scared about getting some nicks on it or anything like that?
If I got to back it in the woods, which it has been done, I will do it.
Oh, this is a piece. Look at that exhaust on there. What size exhaust is that?
7-inch.
You got a
dual 7-inch exhaust.
You'd like to see the engine, but he says it's kind of hard to see the engine.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to.
What size engine's in here?
237 Mack turbo.
So how many horsepower would that be?
237 horse. Yeah, they register them by horsepower and what they.
A lot of torque, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. 1,800 foot-pounds on this.
So how many wheels are we sporting on this thing?
It's 6 wheels, 6-wheel drive also.
6-wheel drive.
It's a full 6-wheel drive.
Is it always engaged?
No.
No?
You can't unlock each axle.
Okay.
Just driving down the road, it does only run on the back axle. But then if I need to, I can lock in the other 2.
Fuel tanks?
100-gallon polished aluminum.
You're talking 100-gallon fuel tanks, 2 of them.
2 of them, so 200-gallon times $4 a gallon.
$800 to fill those babies up. And you get what do you get, like?
5 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
And it runs like a brick, so normally we trailer it anywhere far.
The chassis and everything, okay? What's the year on that?
The chassis is a 1970 Mack.
Okay.
Yeah, the entire chassis, it was a tank hauler for the Air Force. And we bought it years ago from Army Corps engineers and we used it in our business. It was a crane, a wrecker, all kind of stuff. And it kind of got in disrepair and it sat for a while. And about 5 years ago, we come up with a harebrained idea to do this. And it took about 3 years to build it. And it's, of course, been done about 2.
This thing's amazingly big. Amazingly big. Everything about it's big. The back gas tanks, the money to fill them, the tires, everything.
Tires are about $1,000 a piece to buy them.
Check it out. Here we got a 2002 Indian. And everybody thinks Indian's an old bike. And here we go, a brand new one, a 2014 Indian. Got a 67 Camaro here owned by Rick Baylor out of Newton Falls, Ohio. What a gorgeous car. What a gorgeous car. Look at the workmanship on this thing. With me I have John Balanik with his 1937 Packard 120 convertible from Mentor, Ohio. Hi John.
How you doing?
Very good. This is a pretty nice car you got here.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
It's not stock though, right?
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
It's a driver. He's been to Florida 8 years in a row. And in 9 years, I got almost 50,000 miles on it.
Wow. So you're really enjoying this car then?
It's got scratches and chips and that in it, but when you drive them, that's what happens.
Sure, the fun factor, forget it.
That's
just
right.
out there, it's out there. This is fun.
I built it as a driver, and that's what I'm doing. I'm driving it.
How long have you owned this, John?
15 years.
15 years.
It took me 5 years to put it together. It was all cut apart. It was pieces, parts. It came out of a shipping container in Philadelphia and been sitting in there for 25 years. And a lot of parts were missing. The driver's door was missing, the dash was missing, the gauges were missing, the top, glass.
Where'd you find all these parts at?
A lot of them on eBay, and then I bought a 4-door, 5-passenger touring sedan for a parts car. And then I used to go to Hershey every year, and I found a lot of stuff walking around Hershey. But it was a real chore. It was 5 years. So
you were telling me about the door. You couldn't find the door.
I couldn't find a door, and then I was at Hershey, and a guy walked up to me. I had a sign on my back, wanted, and he said, "I'm going to give you 4 names." He said, "One of them 4 people will have your door." And he gave me their name and number. And the first guy I called was down in the Carolinas, and he had already sold them. Then the next guy was in Falls Church, Virginia. He already sold them. And then there was a guy in Connecticut. He sold it. And then, of course, the last guy was in Seattle, Washington. And he said, "Yep, I got a pair of them." He said, "They're the nicest doors I've seen in 25 years. I said, "Well, I need a left one." He said, "No, you need a left and a right." So I ended up buying them. I've been looking for 2.5 years at that point. So it was like no choice. I mean, if you want it, you want it. Here it is. The Packard purists hate me because there's not a Packard. So I had the valve covers made with Packard on it, and that way I say, "No, no, that's a 350 Packard." They go, "God, we don't remember Packard ever having one of them." I said, "Yeah, I think it was around 55, 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got in there?
It's a Chevy crate motor. I bought it in '04 when the car was almost all together, and in like 9 years, almost 10 years, I got almost 50,000 miles on it. So we drive it, and we go everywhere with it.
This has enough power for you?
It's a 330 horse. This sucker just jumps right up and goes.
Because this doesn't look like a very light car.
No, it's 4,500 pounds. And
wow.
I got a 4-speed out of an '02 Chevy Blazer, and it's a 4L60 with overdrive. And I got a 3.7 positive traction rear end out of a Shelby Cobra Mustang.
Wow, wow.
So it's got good gears in it, and it gets up and goes. But the outside of the car basically is all original. It's got original pattern for the interior. This is exactly how the interior was in 1937.
Leather?
It's a fake leather. It's as close to leather as you can get. Trouble with leather, it cracks, and this is not supposed to crack.
Okay.
And the dash is all original. The gauges are original gauges, and the speedometer. I changed the steering wheel because I put a Chevy tilt wheel in it. So
for comfort?
Yeah, it is, and it makes it easier to drive. And I put disc brakes on the front, and I got a Chevy Corvette dual chambered master cylinder with a booster on it, with a 6-inch booster on it. And that's about it, I think.
What color paint you got in it?
Well, the fenders are actually Indian Maroon, which is an original 37 Packard color, but the body's painted fire red, which is a Ford color.
So they're different colors?
Yeah, it's two-toned. Most people don't realize it. It's real subtle. You got to really look at it. If you see it out in the sun, it stands out a little better. And this stripe, the belt line stripe is Indian Maroon too, and the body is fire red.
Well, you got a beauty. It's a head turner, huh?
Yeah, it is. A lot of people really enjoy it.
Yeah, and you really enjoy it.
Oh, I do.
50,000 miles?
Oh,
Heck.
yeah, I do.
Heck, this is great. So let me ask you one last question. What did you do with the passenger side door you had to buy?
It's hanging in my pole barn.
Somebody's looking for one somewhere out there.
I had a guy call me, tell you the truth, that was trying to buy it off me, but he had some rust issues in the bottom of his door, and it really wasn't that bad. I looked at his door and I told the guy, I said, "Jesus, you know, you're going to buy my door and you're going to skimp somebody out of a door because you can repair that door. It's not that much to repair."
With me, I have Kevin Haynes from Breckville, Ohio, in his 65 Pontiac 2+2. Hi, Kev.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Real good. Nice day.
Beautiful day. Beautiful car, too.
Thank you.
This is like one of my all-time favorites, these Pontiac Catalinas, and this is a Catalina 2+2.
421, tri-power, 4-speed, posi. I don't think you could ask for much more.
No. And look at this. How long have you owned her?
5 years now. and just finished a frame-off restoration on it last year, and put air conditioning in and every option you could get. And then decided to put a 6-speed in there too, so we could actually drive it and get some good mileage with it. So
what was the stock in it?
4-speed.
4-speed.
Yeah, yeah.
You still have it?
I do.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So if you
I don't
ever
get rid
want
of
to-
parts.
yeah, I
No,
understand
no.
that. This thing just like shines, and it's just like, it's perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Thank you, thank you.
So you have the 421 engine in it. How many horse?
This one is a little bit bigger than a 421 right now. It's bored out and stroked, and probably, I would guess, somewhere around 500 horse.
500 horse.
Yeah.
So when they're talking 421, is that horse or is that cubic inch?
That's cubic inches.
That's cubic inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was you know, just redid everything on it. I mean, my wife actually questioned why I would buy a car without air conditioning that was black on black, and that kind of gave me the green light to put the air in and go through the whole car. And yeah, it was. I built it to be a nice driver, but actually it came out so nice that we're going to show it for a little while here before we start putting, you know, many miles on it.
Right,
so.
right. This is stock black. Everything's
Yes.
stock
Yeah.
like this, black
Yeah.
on black.
Yep. Yep.
Wow, what a beauty. This is so straight and everything. And what kind of shape was it in when you got it?
Well, it was a really nice car when I bought it. I found it actually on eBay in Baltimore, Maryland, and flew there with a one-way ticket.
You were looking specifically for this?
Yes,
car?
I
Okay.
was, yeah. And I was assured by the previous owner that this car would make it from Baltimore to Cleveland, which it did. And like I said, it was a really nice, clean car. I've learned my lesson over the years with buying stuff that you think's a deal.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I paid a good penny for it in the beginning, but it all worked out well. And you know, the car made it home, and we drove it around for a year, and then I just pretty much blew it apart, and I had my friend Tim at American Vintage help me with the car, a big help, and we got her done, and it just snowballed into what you see here today. Yeah.
What a beauty. Why this car? Why
Well,
the Catalina 2+2?
when we were kids, my first car was a '65 Catalina Safari station wagon. And then my brother got a '65 2+2 just like this, but it was white and black. And we just had so much fun in that car over the years that you know, we used to street race it in Cleveland and win gas money and beer money with it. And he wrecked the car a few years after that, and I've always wanted one of my own. And actually, this car, my brother passed about 8 years ago, and I still, the tri-power on this car and some of the pieces like the rear speaker and the interior and stuff are from his original 2+2. Just kind of did it, you know, just in his honor. You know, just, it's like, I wish he was here to see this car. He would be loving this thing right now, but you know, it's, you know, I just wanted to have one, and you know, this was it. So I have other cars, but this is probably my favorite.
So we're talking Pontiac Catalina 2+2. What's the difference?
Well, the Catalina 2+2, you always got a 421 with it, albeit a 4-barrel or a tri-power. You got bucket seats, and you got a shifter on the floor, whether it's an automatic or a 4-speed or a 3-speed. And then you got upgraded suspension with better shocks and better springs.
So this is basically the sportier model.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So
the Bonneville wasn't much different than this, right?
Not much. It was just a lot bigger. Well, not, you know, 4 inches bigger, but a little cushier, a little more of a float down the road kind of car, where this one seemed to handle a lot better. But basically the same cars. You know, just the Grand Prix, the Bonnevilles, and the Catalinas were basically the same car with just different trim packages and stuff. So yeah, yeah.
What sets this car off, I think, are those nice rims you got on it. There's our name for those?
Those are called the Pontiac 8-lug wheels, and actually the fins that you're looking at are the brake drums. And the wheel mounts, there's 8 tabs on where the 8 lug nuts are. There's tabs on the wheel that mount to the brake drum.
So those are brake drums.
Yes, yeah, and those were designed by Pontiac actually for during the early '60s for NASCAR racing to get drum brakes to cool off. And they just they're such a beautiful wheel. They started running them on the cars, and yeah, everybody loves them. And you know, it took a lot of man hours to get those all filed down and back to flat and smooth and polished, but I think it was well worth it.
So when you're talking here, you really just have an outer rim on that then.
Basically, right. Just a rim with some tabs that bolts to the brake drum.
That is really slick.
Yeah.
That is really neat. They used to race this at NASCAR.
Yes.
This
yes.
big thing.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Mm-hmm.
And how much does this weigh again?
I would guess it to weigh around 4,300 pounds right now.
Wow.
Yeah, with all the options. Options weigh them down, but that's okay. You just make the motor bigger and then they go just as fast.
I was telling my photog here, my editor, Greg Roden here, about when I went to Auto Ram, I saw one car that looked just like this there. And the next thing I know,
it's the car.
It's the car.
Yeah.
And what a display you had. I thought
Thank
it
you.
was beautiful. I have pictures of it at home and everything. And I'm going, my God, I just love this style of car. It's just nice.
That,
you had it displayed really nice.
Thank you. That big red Pontiac neon sign was actually the original dealership sign from J. Pontiac in Cleveland from 1956. And that's where we have our Pontiac club meetings at still. And that sign was just restored when I got it. My buddy had it restored, and he didn't even have it a day, and I came and picked it up and drove it to Detroit, and didn't break it. So yeah,
Luckily,
he let me use it, and yeah, that was a big part of the display. I thought it was great. I just found myself after a few hours, you just get like sensory overload looking at chrome and candy paint that you're kind of numb, but yeah, it's a great place to be.
Yes,
middle of winter too.
Oh yeah, in the middle of Detroit too. It's
Right.
Yeah. Kevin Haynes from Brecksville, Ohio, in the 65 Pontiac 2+2 Catalina. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I like this one, a 51 Chevy Skyline Deluxe convertible owned by Betty Garlock out of Kinsman, Ohio. I think I would look so cool in this, with my arms sticking out the window. I'd like to give you a little wrap-up of our 2014 season, Armstrong Street Scene season. Which this year we started out with the Street Scene Car and Bike Show at the Shepherd Self Storage. Wasn't the greatest year for our show. This was our 3rd annual show. Don't forget, next year it'll be June the 7th, 2015. So make it at the Shepherd Self Storage there. Hopefully the weather will help us out again, you know, this coming year. Then we moved into the Senior Center Cruise. The Mahoning Old Car Club put that on, which was a very nice show. We had rain in the morning, so we pulled out a nice show. Mahoning Valley Old Car Club, they're just a class act all the way around with the cars in the park and everything at Boardman Park. And in this show, this weekly cruise they have, very nice people. And then we went to the Steel Valley. We got rained out down there again. we did get a show in. We didn't have many cars. We didn't have the nicest cars we wanted to get in there, but we were there, what, a year or so ago, and cars were all over the place. We had so much fun. And then we went back with Vinny and the boys, back to the basics at the Greenwood Chevrolet over in Austintown. We had a great time there. It was so hot there on blacktop, and it was a good time. Some really nice cars and really good people. It was fun. And then Quaker Steak and Lube Bike Show, which is always fun with those bikers, with Fast Freddy at DJing. And that was a heck of a show, over 1,000 bikes there. And when Fast Freddy's involved, it's just a lot of fun. He makes it a lot of fun. And that was a heck of a show. We left there with a big smile on our face, and we got a very nice show. And we wrapped up things today here at the Ox Roast, the 19th annual Ox Roast. I'd just like to say thank you guys for watching Armstrong Street Scene and making it such a big success. And hopefully we'll be back next year with season number 7. For Armstrong Street Scene, I'm Rick Guerrera. I'll see you down the road.